find out from Ocala Police Department why there's an issue transparency-wise. I've called and I've requested records many times from Orlando Police Department as well as Ocala. Now, Ocala knew from Orlando, as well as Marion County knew from Orlando, that Brianna had been a victim of a circumstance which was sex trafficking and human trafficking. It started in Vermont and it ended in Florida. With that being said, she was put on a bus by Gordon Obert and his accomplice, Deanna Crisco Johnson. They're not married, so she doesn't have Gordon's last name, even though they've been together for over 20 years because she's on welfare and he collects it. Okay? So with that being said, he took my daughter and he put her on the bus to get rid of her after he had claimed that she had been acting out and she had been doing all this crazy shit. He made these claims, and Brianna, when she finds out all of what he said about it, she's not going to be happy. But now that she's healed, it's going to be revealed. So he said to me when he came up after a day later of putting my daughter on a bus and sending her to Florida, is what he said. That she didn't want me to know where she was and not to tell me in no contact about her. My daughter left me a message. And she was in no way, shape, or form wanting to leave. And she said so in that message on YouTube. Okay? That all got erased. Not by me, but by the haters, which is the government and the state officials that know that I've revealed their shit. And I still have audio recordings and paper trails of everything. And Brianna's alive and she's her own witness. She's her best witness. She is not her only witness, but she is her own witness. She can only tell you how it felt to go through and what it feels like to go through what she's going through. Because the state and the government have done it to her. They allowed her to be sex trafficked. Perhaps they set it up. What happened when my daughter was being abused and I reported it July 17th at Rutland Regional Medical Center? I reported it to them. I reported it to everybody. I put it out here publicly after I reported it to the Regional Medical Center. I called Rutland Police Department. And that was on audio recording. I probably still have that too. Because I shared it to YouTube. Y'all heard it. But again, somebody wanted to delete it. The whole YouTube. Why? What do you all have to hide? All you state officials, government officials, and badge wearing, sworn to the oath officials. What do you have to hide? I don't have anything to hide. I got called to go find my daughter. I went and I found my daughter. I had already been out looking for my daughter. You didn't have to tell me to go do it. Okay? So that's your first fucking mistake, being a male and thinking that you need to tell me to do anything, because I'm already many years and steps ahead of you. Mentality-wise, you can't even touch me. Isn't that true? Isn't that why you come at me physically? So then, when you hit and you hurt me, physically and emotionally, it tends to hurt the taxpayers financially. So with that being said, I'm going to share the story again and again and again until you hear me. And let's hear what Ocala. Police department did this, and so did Days In.
I'm going to tell you right now, Orlando Police has failed everybody in this case. They have an open case. Where is Bree in this caseworker in this case? Where is her victim's witness advocate? What happened to Marion County and the detectives that were sent to talk to Brianna? That's what I'm going to be questioning, and I'm going to be getting those answers.
They passed her from Daytona to Orlando to Marion, all through the counties.
And this is what happened. I went to take my dog
And
outside
Lake.
for a walk the other day. We were at the Days Inn. And when I did that, it was Wednesday morning, okay? When I was walking to the door, Marion County Sheriff's Department was knocking on the door. I opened the door to the fucking police. Why were the police called? Well, I'm going to find that out one way or another. I was told that the office called the cops on Brianna because they said that she wasn't acting appropriately. Well, what the fuck does acting appropriately mean? Who are you to judge? So if my daughter got locked up in some kind of fucking medical ward because of somebody at the Days Inn when I've already made it known I was checking out because I didn't like the way the housekeeper was. I made it known to the desk clerk that I was not happy about the service. I made it known to customer service with Wyndham Hotel Rewards that I was not happy, and they're calling me back to find out what happened. Why? Because it's on audio record. The black girl at the Days Inn was yelling at the girl that does the housekeeping for our room, okay? And she was telling her not to service our room. She was loud mouth talking about room that we were staying in. What the fuck does this bitch think she's doing talking about us? We didn't even associate with anybody. But we sure the fuck did have people knocking on the door frivolously. Why the fuck were people knocking on the door? Why weren't those doors appropriately secured at nighttime? Isn't that what a guest is supposed to do? Be secure at nighttime? We weren't secure. It's no wonder my daughter fucking spooked and ran. But why did she end up in a hospital? We're gonna find that shit out. And this is just part one of that. So Marion County, this is December 28, 2021. This all goes along with what T.J. Donovan, the Attorney General in the state of Vermont, along with Volusia County Sheriff's Department, Orlando Police, the detective involved is Detective
Graham Kate.
Gate. He's not done a fucking thing on this case. They've passed it around and they keep on blaming one thing on another and one person on the other. It's this person's fault, it's that person's fault. I want the fucking records. I want the reports. I want the body cam. I want the dash cam. I want every fucking cam they have. And if they don't get it, we're right down the road from the court and we're going there tomorrow. So I'm letting it all be known publicly. This is Tuesday, December 28, 2021. Brianna is again being released from a hospital. She should have never been in a fucking hospital. But I'm going to record it all, and I'm going to ask Brianna why she was in the hospital again and why I wasn't contacted. Because the nurse told me the girl that says she's a social worker from this hospital that set up transportation for Brianna to get back to me says that Brianna was confused and didn't know how to contact me. My number doesn't change. Why was my daughter confused? And again, there was no signs of drugs or any kind of medications in her system. So what really fucking happened to my daughter? I want to know. Marion County, Ocala, Florida.
And according to Brianna, the reason why she couldn't contact me was because they took her phone away from her and they let the battery die out. That is why she wasn't able to contact me. So, again, that is at the hands of Ocala Police Department and then Advent Health Center. Emergency care had my daughter in their care while she was gone from my care because they had shot her up with a drug called Haldol. Over-medicated and nearly killed my daughter. So why? Why are they hiding shit? It's quite obvious, don't you think? They don't want anybody knowing what's going on here. That's a fact.
I make it known to you on February 15th, 2022. I have full intent to file a lawsuit for the amount of $75,000 plus punitive damages, emotional damages, distress, and more. On or about the date of December.
And why is that? Because what happened? What happened while I was gone, saving my daughter's life? That's coming up next.